My name is Kishy Chad, and I use he, him pronouns. The first time I felt proud was attending the 2009 Pride in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I was 20 years old, and I remember feeling really excited to be at an event that I could feel safe at, be myself at. I was really excited to be outdoors and just flirt. And I was also really excited to have the opportunity to meet other people that I probably wouldn't meet under any other circumstance. It was a really eye-opening weekend for me, and I met a lot of people that actually really helped mold my career along the way. So it was a really great experience. Coming out has been an ongoing process. I was bullied a lot as a kid. I remember being 5 years old and being called a fag for the first time. And I think when I became comfortable with who I am, that would be age 18. I'd had my first experience with another guy and it didn't turn out well. And through what I went through after the experience, I told my mother what was going on with me, and she knew, and she loved me, because she loves the gays, she loves the queers. But it was just reaffirming to know that, especially through having such a tough experience, that she had my back no matter what, as did my whole family. My sister affected my life positively. What I appreciate the most about my sister was her resilience. She was born with sickle cell anemia. I have the trait. It's a genetic blood disorder that robs the body's ability to produce oxygen. And my sister was in the hospital a lot. She was in the hospital every 3 months from when she was born to when she passed at 30 years old. And she was so full of life, and she really taught me the importance of not making excuses. She taught me that if you have a goal, that you are the only obstacle between you and achieving it. And she also gave me an unstoppable confidence in my abilities. And she continues to be the reason why I go for what I want. Because, for instance, even though being born with sickle cell anemia is very difficult to do things like playing sports, but she played basketball. She was a tomboy growing up, but then suddenly she wanted to do beauty pageants, and she became Miss Jamaica Universe 2011. And she would always have to come across doctors and medical professionals that didn't believe that she was in as much pain as she was, and she always advocated for herself in the hospital. And even in the hospital visits, I would be crying and uncomfortable, but she would always tell me, I'm okay, pull it together. So she taught me resilience, and she taught me stubborn self-belief. I maintain my mental health by being transparent about what I'm experiencing. My childhood was pretty traumatic, and my mother encouraged us to go to therapy as a family. So therapy is something I enjoy completely. But I also grew up seeing my mom go through a lot, and she used her Sunday cleaning and cooking, listening to Sade. That was also a form of therapy I saw her do. I love going to the beach, and I was diagnosed with OCD, anxiety, and depression at 19 years old. And I was on medication, I was on antidepressants, and it was a little difficult to manage after a while, so I took myself off of it, but I saw the need for me to utilize something that would help my mind retain a certain level of ease. I mean, we take medications we take pain relievers, right? We take hormones, we take all kinds of things. So I see no harm in taking something that will improve, hopefully improve and stabilize my mind. The advice I would give to my younger self is to continue to believe in your creativity. As a child, my biggest escape was music. Music was always there for me. I had so many VHSs of music videos that I loved recreating the choreography, some of my favorite music videos, and that always made me happy. Bollywood movies were like an escape world, and I just would encourage myself to keep doing it. I grew up being in theater, I was in chorus, but I was bullied a lot about like not being manly enough or masculine enough. So I would shy away from singing because I didn't like the way my voice sounded because it was too girly. I didn't like dancing because guys would give me a hard time for loving to dance. So I would just encourage myself to keep doing it because, for one, it has paid the bills at times. And for two, there is nothing in the world that I love more than being on stage. My biggest fear as a queer individual is having my rights taken away. Given the political situation at the moment, I'm very aware of what's at stake and why it's important for us to vote and for us to advocate for ourselves. We've made so much progress. I would hope that we continue to move in the right direction. For me, I think being queer in the Black community is very difficult. It's the social constructs and years of social conditioning that tell us this is how we need to show up, and this is how we need to be, and this is what religion says. To challenge that is very difficult because you're constantly having to explain yourself. So that, I feel, is way more difficult. My relationship status is single as hell and happy. I have been in committed relationships, monogamous relationships, polyamorous relationships, married. I'm currently now divorced. And I'm dating, but I have zero expectations. I think the most important relationship right now is the one I have with myself. So I am currently dating myself. And all the other people I entertain, they're just options. So aside from the work I've done for many years in the community as a sexual health educator, I think just normalizing conversations around HIV is important, and that's how I advocate for them. There are a lot of relatives and friends and colleagues in my life who are living with HIV, and I see firsthand what they have to go through. And while I myself am not living with HIV, my loved ones mean everything to me, and it matters to me that they receive the love, attention, and respect that they deserve. Yes, I have dated someone that is living with HIV, and it wasn't a difficult conversation because, again, having relatives live with HIV, knowing what HIV is from a very young age, it was simply communication that needed to be had, and it was a great time. It's two. I have pets. Actually, I wouldn't mind if that was something light, because I mean, as Herb reinforced, like light questions are important. I don't know how many people filming have pets. Yeah.
What no, the work, I want to know what work that you belong to, what the nonprofit that you belong to. What does that mean to you? I want to know about traveling. I know traveling.
Oh God, yes, honey. Let's talk about pet shit. So Pets Travel Foundation? Pets Travel Foundation performing.
Let's get rapid bit to shock in the interview. Yeah, it's recorded.
Good? I'm ready.
Let's give the people what they want. Let's give the people what they want. Yeah.
What's your favorite Jamaican dish?
Oof, jeez. So, my mom makes this really nice vegetarian stew peas. So it's dumplings, rice, beans, it's like a broth, and coconut milk is in it, and that's the main ingredient in it that really makes it taste well. I could eat that anytime. Sometimes my stepdad makes it with like soya chunks, but it's fine with or without it. So recently, I went to Europe for 2 weeks, and I got to travel to Paris, where I got to finally see the Eiffel Tower. I thought that was a beautiful moment for me because it is something I've wanted to see my whole life. It was a bucket list item. Lisbon, Portugal is one of my favorite cities to travel to, and I feel at home there. I enjoy the history there, I enjoy the diversity, and the method of transportation. It's very convenient. My father's from Birmingham, England, so I got to see my father, my sister, my niece. I met my niece's kids for the first time, so I'm a grand uncle. That was really great to see. And my mother's side is in London, England, and we had a family reunion. And it was really nice to see my relatives on that side of the family, as we planned to originally have the reunion in 2020, and we know what happened that year. So it's taken us 4 years to reunite, and it was such a great experience to have that many generations of that family together.
Tell me about your pet.
So I have a black cat named Salem. He is 11 years old, and he has gone from grouchy lizard killer to one of the most affectionate, loving cats I've ever had. He likes when I pet him right here on his forehead. And I also have a 10-year-old Shih Tzu Bichon named Mila, who only wants me to pet her on her stomach. Like every time I come through the door, she runs up to me and she lays on her back. And that means to pet her. And I do. Yeah.
What is your go-to drink?
My go-to drink is coconut water. And let's be clear, not the stuff that's in the can, that's gross, okay? Coconut water fresh from the tree. You have to get a cutlass or a machete, and you have to cut just the top off, take it out of the coconut. I don't like the jelly. Chill it, put it in the fridge, put it on some ice. It's the best drink.
Well, my last question is gonna be, what is your spirit animal and why?
Oh my God, that's a really good question. I would say snake. I love snakes. I always had a fascination with snakes, and I could relate to them in a way. I think snakes are so misunderstood, and there's a lot of fear about snakes, but they are able to adapt to many different environments. They have really great survival techniques, and they shed. They're able to it's almost, and shedding skin is almost like a rebirth. It's almost like they've worn their skin for so long and so much that they're able to kind of leave some of that in the past. And I personally have been through a lot, and I would love to be able to shed some layers and step into some new phases of my life and continue to do the best I can. Yeah.
Cut or uncut?
Cut, hey. Yeah.
You've been okay, so.
Yeah. Okay, so there is a phallic connection, I guess. Oh gosh, what about Janet? I wore a Janet shirt in the first
I'm
one.
surprised you don't have on a Janet shirt right now.
Well, I am Janet all day, every day, but you know.
What's Janet? I'll give you a call. What does Janet Jackson mean to you? Why has she been such an influence on her life?
Good Lord. Okay, so I love Janet Jackson. As a entertainer, what I appreciate is her focus on precision with choreography. She dances very clean and she hits every 8 count. I also appreciate what she does with her vocal range. She has a limited vocal range, but she's able to use her voice to do harmonies. And there's something very pleasant and sweet about the sound of her voice. It's very soothing to my ears. I also appreciate how passionate she is about giving other artists and creatives attention. Everyone that she works with, she makes sure that they get recognition. And she also was a huge inspiration for me entering the HIV field. I know that her song Together Again was written for her friends that died from AIDS, and she donated a large percentage, if not all, from the single sales to AMFAR. And she's been a huge supporter of people living with HIV and an ally to the LGBT community. So I appreciate all those things about her. And I also really appreciate the Velvet Rope album. She talked a lot about her experiences with depression. Hearing that album as a kid gave me a lot of vocabulary that I needed to have in terms of what I was experiencing around like self-esteem, valuing myself, feeling low, feeling isolated. So I appreciate her for her transparency, her philanthropy, her talent, all of that. Hi, my name is Kishy Chad. It's that time again. CAOBA is filming our video archives and we would like for you to be a part of it. So if your story is important to you, if your truth is important to you, then reach out to us, join us, and make a, Let me do that again. I got it. So if your story's important to you, if your truth is important to you, reach out and be a part of history.
Yeah.
All right, yes. Ah! Hello, I'm Kishy Chad. It's that time again. CAOBA is filming our video archive project, and we would love for you to be a part of it. If your story is important to you, if your truth is important to you, then join us and make history. Thank you.